Familiar with from Biden's senatorial career in the 80s. He once said that it is about time we stop apologizing for Israel. There is nothing to apologize for. It is the best $3 billion investment we ever made. He said if there wasn't an Israel, the U.S. would have to invent an Israel to protect its interests in the region. Said exactly what the role of Israel is, and unfortunately, that investment has only grown since then. The United States recently pledged $105 billion in emergency military spending, the single largest package in history. As a whole, the top 5 transnational weapons corporations made $250 billion in profit in 2020. $105 million went to just 5 people, the CEOs of the top 5 weapons corporations. These 5 CEOs are making a profit off the destruction and the destabilization of our communities, only to line their pockets. Are we okay with that? This past week, Biden has been in San Francisco to meet with the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, which markets itself as promoting economic growth. In actuality, it is a forum for these fascist heads of state and sellout CEOs to make backroom deals that throw our lives under the bus. It is a forum for the U.S. to assert its economic and political dominance over the world because it knows that it is threatened. It knows that the people are against the U.S. Some of those top 5 weapons corporations that I mentioned, like Boeing, are one of the major sponsors of APEC right now. And as we can see very well, San Francisco bent over backwards in order to fuck these pigs, to surveil us, and to militarize our streets, and to make us feel unsafe. Tell them how you feel. It is very clear where their interests lie. Every time Biden throws the workers under the bus, we're facing the worst economic crisis in history. Every time they throw students fighting for a better education under the bus, every time they throw Palestinians on the front line fighting Zionist occupation under the bus, they make it very clear that they are against the people and they are for profit. But the rising call of this time in the Palestinian resistance is unity. Unity of the movement in Palestine, unity of the international solidarity movement, and unity of all people's struggle against the common enemy of imperialism. But we have to be ready to organize and fight every single day until Palestine is free from the river to the sea. Are you ready to organize?
Justice is our demand! Justice! from the Jewish Voices for Peace area. I am here representing the hundreds of thousands of Jewish people who are pleading with President Joe Biden to stop ignoring our calls for a ceasefire. Ceasefire now! President Biden, more than 11,000 Palestinians have been brutally killed by bombs funded by our tax dollars this month. Their blood is on your hands, Joe Biden. Israel has dropped the bombs that you are funding indiscriminately on hospitals, on ambulances, on schools, on refugee camps, on escape routes. Israel has killed thousands of babies and children, journalists on the job, doctors in hospitals treating the injured, entire families while sheltering in their homes. Jewish people know what this is. What is this? Genocide. This is genocide. This is why thousands of us have taken to the streets. Last night here in the Bay Area, over 700 Jewish people shut down the Oakland Federal Building. Refusing to move until our government calls for a ceasefire. Over 470 of us were arrested. This was the largest Jewish act of civil disobedience in California history. Biden, thousands and thousands of us anti-Zionist Jewish people have been pleading with you to end this genocide. You have heard us loud and clear, but you have chosen to ignore our voices. You have weaponized false narratives about Jewish identity to justify using our tax dollars to power a settler, colonial, apartheid, genocidal military. Biden, history will remember your decision to fuel this genocide. Your voters will remember your decision to fuel this genocide. The voices that you have suppressed and ignored will only grow louder. Stop shouting. We will not be silenced. We will show up everywhere that you go, Joe. President Biden, stop this genocide. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We have Travis, who's a student at SF State, and here representing United Students Against Sweatshops. Please welcome Travis.
My name is Travis, and I'm a student at San Francisco State, and an organizer with United Students Against Sweatshops, who stood today with Teamsters across multiple CSU campuses as they were on strike. It's ridiculous that the U.S. sends billions to Israel, Ukraine, and other countries for weapons, war, and genocide, while many of us here at home are struggling to survive. There's money for bombs and bullets to terrorize Palestinian people, but when we beg our leaders for access to food, housing, healthcare, education, better wages, suddenly the Federal Reserve needs to pinch pennies? Clearly the priority for Joe Biden, for the corporations, the bosses, the politicians, and the media is profits and exploitation, no matter how violent. Across the country, labor has had to show the wealthy bosses that when they don't pay us our full value of our labor, we shut shit down. Labor runs this country. and workers have shown that they will shut this whole country down if that's what it takes to get a living wage or to end the siege on Gaza. Today, faculty workers went on strike on SF State's campus to fight for better wages and working conditions. Plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, and more whose labor keeps the CSU infrastructure from crumbling are being paid a fraction of what workers doing the same work at the UCs are being paid. We live in the richest country on the planet, but the workers that keep the lights on in our CSUs can barely afford to keep the lights on in their own homes. Say it with me, it makes no damn sense. Why should our workers in this country that keep our society running have to beg and plead with their bosses for wages that at the end of the day only provide their basic needs? Wages that only barely keep them alive. We shouldn't have to beg and plead for Israel and the U.S. to let Palestinians in Gaza live. We shouldn't have to beg for crumbs from our bosses and our wealthy in this country so that our own people can live. Unions know it well. United we bargain, divided we beg. And the students at SF State stand with our campus workers in their fight. Together with students at SF State, USAS Local 302 demands an end to the siege on Gaza and an end to U.S. aid to Israel. We demand living wages for CSU workers and teachers. And we demand a society that puts people over profit by funding education, guaranteeing well-paid union jobs, healthcare for all, and housing for all. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation.
Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Thank you all so much. And now it's time for our very last speakers, after which we're going to pour out into the street and march. Please welcome two youth from Arab Youth Organizing, Helena and Sarah.
My name is Helena Awad. I'm a Palestinian junior born and raised in San Francisco. I'm also a youth leader for the Arab Youth Organizing community. And I'm proud to be here today and to see all of you guys come out here for Palestine. As a Palestinian teen, I have a couple things to say witnessing this ongoing genocide. I'm unable to speak almost half the time because of the rage that I'm suffocating in. I'm angry at our government. I am angry at the complicity that our government has taken with this genocide, and I am fed up. I want our government to know that this war is not invisible to the youth and to our generation. We see this, and we are not going to remain silent. We will not remain silent. We are watching this as we cry in the hallways between our class periods, unable to get a grip over ourselves. And the images and the faces of our martyrs are in our minds as we try to complete the homework that was due like 2 weeks ago. We're falling behind in school and we're struggling, and the government needs to understand that this is not going to stop us, that we won't stop until we see a free Palestine for our generation and all the generations to come after us. How dare you, teachers, admin, politicians, presidents, feel okay with yourselves? How dare you, Joe Biden? How dare you? And to that, I say, shame on you! Shame on you!
What will it take for our voices to be heard? We've been showing up to the streets for over a month and still no ceasefire. What will it take for the Palestinians to live in peace? This whole thing is like having a nightmare where you're trying to scream for help but no one can hear you. As you helplessly drown in panic, hoping that when you scream again, just maybe this time someone will hear you. What will it take for them to realize that this is a genocide? What will it take for Joe Biden and the U.S. government to stop sending military aid to kill children? Joe Biden, what are you waiting for? The people are begging you to put an end to this. How can you sleep at night knowing that you're accomplices to the murder of over 11,000 innocent civilians? You should be held accountable for your unjustifiable actions. The people of Palestine are begging for our help. They're begging non-stop and they are suffering. All that they're asking for is peace. Promise me something, okay? Promise that you guys will show up to the streets no matter what and to never give up, okay? Thank you.
Everyone, it's time to start marching. Now, before you guys get moving, I need you to look over here. We all need to go that direction. We are leaving the truck behind. So please make your way that way. And I repeat, stay behind the banner. We are going down Market, okay? Down Market that way.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
That wasn't Biden, was it?
No.
Okay, that's what I
Wouldn't
thought.
drive him by here, right?
Yeah.
They'd be stupid. We got a group. Oh, we're gonna miss it. Let's get back in.